Jace, we're inside the lab today. What does that mean?
It's Tour Pro Tuesday, Chris.
Tour Pro Tuesday. You don't seem all that excited today. What's got you down there, Charlie Brown? Anything?
This golf instruction stuff, Chris, it's making me upset.
I understand that.
Is it making you upset?
It's making me very upset. For the first time in a lot of years, the world of golf instruction has ruffled my feathers. And I've got a little rant to go on here today, but I want to ask you guys a question at home, and I'm going to ask Jace the same question. What do Hideki Matsuyama, Akshay Bhatia, Xander Schauffele, Adam Scott, Robert McIntyre, Scotty Scheffler, Patrick Cantlay, Victor Hovland, what do they all have in common in their golf swings?
They all shift their weight, Chris.
They all shift their weight. I had a video that was pointed in my direction this weekend, unfortunately, where the thumbnail read, weight shift is dead. And unfortunately, this golf instructor has taken it upon himself to point the finger in the direction of us other golf instructors that lean on weight shift as being one of the big factors that you should have in your golf swing. And pointing the finger and said, we are the ones that are responsible for you not lowering your handicap and not being able to break the score of 95. And I found that to be very disturbing. You know why I found that to be disturbing?
Why do you find that to be disturbing?
Because weight shift is something that's used by every single player that plays this game at the highest level, both man and woman. They use weight shift to their advantage because it does two very important things in the swing. What are those two things that it does, Jace?
Chris, it gives you speed and it gives you safety.
It gives you speed and safety. If you start sacrificing horizontal force in the golf swing, then you have to start leaning more on the other two forces that exist, rotational or torque and vertical. And you can produce a lot of speed that way. But on top of that, weight shift is a shallowing move in the swing shape. Let's take a look at one of our players that we just recently started working with. Did you see that? Did you see how by inducing weight shift and getting him to use his smaller muscles, his shoulders and his arms less, what the golf club just did? Now, let's also turn into one of our other members that has been a PGA member for quite a few years who's started to get some success with us. Let's listen in.
Hi everyone, Carlos just leaving a quick review of my first month with MyGolfDNA. Chris, the instructor, is very knowledgeable. He's very responsive. He's an excellent communicator. He knows a lot about the golf swing. I've tried Golf Tech, I've tried Performance Golf, Paul Wilson Golf. I'm not saying they're not good programs, but they just haven't been a fit for me. So this is the first time I've really invested in a program where I'm really happy with the results I'm getting. My ball striking has improved tremendously, and I'm getting better every day. I'm working hard, but he's right there with me, and I'm really looking forward to where he's going to get my golf swing to where I really need it to be, and I can start playing the golf that I think I'm capable of. So
under no circumstance was either one of those videos put up to flex by any means. I want you to understand how important it is for you to have weight shift built into your golf swing. I want you to understand what it does for you. It helps provide power and speed back to the swing. It helps provide a safer platform for you to be able to move the club in space. But it also helps create one of those in vogue terms that a lot of you are always searching for, and that's shallowing the golf club. Today, we're inside the lab because we're going to be taking a good look at Hideki's backswing, and we're going to be talking about the perfect loading sequence and the three main attributes that we look for to know that your backswing is ready for showtime. That's right, because your downswing is only as good as your backswing allows it to be. Your brain responds to muscle tension signals. Today, you're going to see exactly what we look for. Now, if you're brand new to the channel, do me a favor. If you like today's video, make sure you head down below, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post that up below. And make sure you hit the thumbs up button for us. It's good for our psyche. Now, let's get to work. So I know a lot of you at home are probably asking that same question right now, is how does Hideki produce so much club head speed with that sort of mild pause that he has in his backswing? Well, the simple answer to that is that Hideki is a master of the downswing sequence. Downswing sequence is a blend of horizontal, rotational, and vertical forces. And you have to get your body to move in a very specific order if you want to be successful, like Hideki is. And every one of you is capable of making a better downswing sequence if you do one very important thing. And that's load your body up in the correct order. The three key components when it comes to a good backswing is weight shift first, body turn second, and then small hand and arm functions way down third on the list. If I could make them 15th on the list, I would, but unfortunately that's just not the nature of the beast. So what we look for at the top of the golf swing is we want good load, meaning we want good pressure underneath our trail foot. Good separation means we have separation between how much the hips have rotated and how much the spine is rotated. We generally look for the hips to rotate somewhere between 35 and 45 degrees, And we look for the shoulders to rotate somewhere around 90 degrees. But we also look for one other important factor that a lot of you lose sight of because you're told to straighten that trail leg up as much as you possibly can. And that is the stability factor. You need stability at the top of your backswing if you want to be successful when it comes to playing this game. And stability comes from maintaining some flex in your trail leg up to the top of the swing. Why would you want to do that? Well, because what that's going to do is it's going to give your hips sort of a speed limit. And it's going to give your spine the same sort of speed limit, which is then in turn going to tell your hands and your arms that they don't have any place to be able to continue to move. Your brain is going to respond to muscle tension signals, and creating stability is one of those factors that's going to help you stop your spine from over-rotating and stop your golf swing from getting long and out of control. Now, let's talk about how we actually get our golf swing loaded up in the correct order. One of the things that we do very much so when it comes to the backswing is we like to use what we call the load line here at MyGolfDNA. And I know every one of you watching it that's worked with me in the past has seen this line probably way too many times. But this is a good way for us to kind of look to see how your initial movement is starting in the swing shape. Now with our driver swing, we're going to have a wider base. So the gap between this line that I've drawn up from the center of the ankle and the right thigh is going to look pretty substantial. Most of the time with your irons, it's going to look somewhere between a ½ inch to 3/4 of an inch. But what we want to look for is we want to look for this gap to slowly start getting filled in. We want to see that there's an initial shift of the body to get moving into the trail side. But a lot of you will make the mistake of not allowing the lead hip and the lead thigh to function properly, which creates just a lot of horizontal nature movement from your pelvis. You want the hips to move dynamically. You want them to shift and you want them to rotate early. It's very important that you do that so that your weight can move underneath the correct portion of the foot, but also that you can start working into that second piece that I just mentioned, the stability factor and the separation factor. Separation is only going to come from your ability to be able to maintain the flex in the trail leg and to turn your body and not let your arms dictate the way. So what you want to work on to be able to get the load process really buttoned up is you want to think about this trail thigh moving towards the load line, and you want your left hip to start to move and turn in along with your lead thigh. And once you feel that pressure move into that trail foot, let's just say somewhere between 70 and 80%, now your job is to create that stability factor. And how you're going to create stability is keep the right leg flexed with your weight underneath your trail ankle and turn your body by turning your core. Think about turning your core by basically taking your rib cage and feel like you're turning your guts as much as you possibly can. If you do that, then what you're going to create at the top of the golf swing is a position that looks very much like Hideki. You're going to see that the spine is still leaning ever so slightly away from the target. You're going to see and feel what it's like to have some contraction in your glutes. You're going to see and feel what it's like to have a power source built up that you're ready to explode from. In order for you to be able to get a good backswing going, you have to start the backswing on the right tone. We talk a lot about takeaway, right? And a lot of times when you look at the takeaway position, you look at it from the hands and the arms and the golf club. I will always look at it from the ground up. I'm going to watch the way that your right hip moves. I'm going to watch the way that the lead hip moves. And then I'm going to be watching the way that your body turn moves your arms. And as you start getting that golf swing started on the right tone, then it's going to be much easier for us to be able to manage the positions like you would see on the right-hand side of the screen. You want good load, you want good separation, and you want really good stability over the long haul. That's going to set your downswing up for a powerful, explosive movement, just like you would see of the best players in the world. We'll see you guys later on in the week.